All right, this is an absolutely crazy find. Who remembers using these back in the day? The Bell payphones, right? You put your coins in here, you call someone to pick you up for a ride. This is a cool display piece. I have no idea if it works. And you can see here that the price is $65. The dealer just came up to me, told me he'd sell it to me for 50 bucks. Now, there's a little bit of a looseness to the side of it here, but it doesn't really matter because it's for display. It looks like someone drilled it out here. But again, I don't really think that matters. I think someone's gonna love this. These do not come to market often, as you might imagine. Once people went to cell phones, these companies just removed these and they just, tossed them, they trashed them. Some have been saved and left behind, and they could sell for up to they could sell for up to 500 bucks, 400 bucks, 400, 500 bucks. Now, it does have some scratching on it, but that could be polished off. So there's your coin slot. Remember, your change would come out of here. Yeah, so this used to have like a silver faceplate to it. But even when these have come to market with it missing, they still sell for like 460 bucks with shipping. So it actually is not that difficult to ship. You just need a long box. I mean, it's pretty rectangular. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick this up for the $50. This is a find you just don't come across often. So really neat piece. Oh look, it has the phone number on it too. 314-426-9937. So that's cool because I could look it up and then tell where this actually came from. That's cool. All right, so the 314 area code is from Eastern Missouri, specifically the St. Louis area. So that's cool because I could keyword it with St. Louis. All right, so I was able to open the phone, and this is a good thing to do to take some photos. Because some buyers might want to see this in the listing, especially if they want to refurbish the phone and make it work again, then they're gonna look to see if there's certain components present or not. Now, if it's a production company, like a TV production company or a movie production company, and they're making a movie, set in the 1980s and the 1990s, and they just want this as a prop, then they're not gonna care about the inner components. But describing it as a potential prop for a movie or TV show is a good thing to do to help sell it in the description and sometimes in the title if you could get it in there. Some things to look for include the model number, which is 1A585. That is the month and the year that it was made, and that's consistent with a date inside you could see for the service. It was serviced in 1992. It's probably the last date that it was serviced. And so we have that sticker on there. And I'll take close-up photos of those things. This might be a serial number here on the bottom. So, put that information in there and zoom in on it as well. All right, well, inside this box over here, we have got some plush, and this is a pretty big lion. As you can see here, he's about 2 feet long, and his name is Leroy the lion, and he's looking pretty excited. I think he wants me to take him home. Is that true, Leroy? Yes, it is. So he doesn't like that box too much down there. I think he wants to get out of here. So. One of the things you always want to look for with plush is the tush tag, so you could help to identify a little bit better. But sometimes it's not actually on the tush. You've got to look over by the leg, and if you look here, you could see the brand Animal Fair. So always look for those 2 tenths. It's a pretty good brand. There's some Animal Fair plush that's worth a lot of money. Now Leroy here happens to be worth about 50 bucks with the shipping. You can even maybe get a little bit more out of it sometimes, but look at his nose. You can see here you've got the black part of the nose and the brown part of the nose, but there's actually one called Rufus the Lion, also made by Animal Fair, that just has a black nose, and if you find that one, it's worth about 200 bucks. With the shipping, probably even throw a little bit more on there. So be on the lookout for Animal Fair plush. You could do really well with them. So I really love him, and I'm looking forward to bringing him home and introducing him to Daisy. So let's go, Leroy. Let's get out of here. All right, well, I just got the price on Leroy the Lion, and he's a whopping $3. So definitely a good price on that, and we are taking him home. Look at this. What are you doing? All right, so I'm going to show you something that just came off the truck, which is this item right here. It's a brand that we haven't talked about before on the channel, even though it is a pretty popular brand, which is Jim Shore. And they make a lot of these cool ceramic figures, and this is a Christmas one. This one lights up, and you can see here it comes in the box. I was told that it is $10. Now, I opened it up, and inside it is protected by styrofoam. You can see here, and it was taped up. And so if you don't have a knife with you to cut it open and you can't find a seam, you could just take your keys, like your car key or whatever, and just run it along the seam, and then you could open it up. And when I did that, you could see we've got the figure. Now, it wasn't a bag. I took it out just so you could see it better. But the Santa Claus is protected well with the foam, and it looks to be in great shape, nice and colorful. The highest I've seen one of these sold before is $67, and so since Christmas time is coming up, I'm going to definitely pick this up. I've looked it over and also just ran my finger along, you know, the seams and everything, and there's no chips or cracks or anything like that. I don't know, you know, if it lights up, but still, even if it didn't, it's really nice just as a display piece. So we're going to get this for the $10. All right, so I found another vintage plush in the box here. Take a look at this guy right here. He's a Western Sheriff dog plush. So I think that this is going to appeal to multiple collectors, people who love dogs, and people who love Westerns. Daisy also might really enjoy the Western Sheriff here because she could maybe use a little assistance guarding the treasures at Primetime Treasure Headquarters. I wonder how she would react to this one. I love the sheriff badge kind of on the top, and he's got one over here too. A little bit of discoloration on him, but nothing that you know, shouldn't come off pretty easily with some soap and water. And I like his plaid scarf, so he has a little bit of color to him as well, which definitely helps. And then if you look over here, I could show you the label. So it's a nice vintage label. It's by a company called, let me zoom it in here for you, by a company called Brooklyn Doll and Toy. And you could just see, just from the age of the look of the label here, this is a pretty old plush. I was not able to find any comps at all, any evidence of this even existing. So here it is. I don't know how many of these are out there in the wild. I've never seen one before. I wonder if any of you have. I love his sheriff hat. This thing really cracks me up. I think I could get about 50 out of it, and it's gonna cost probably around $3 because that's how much I paid for that Animal Fair Leroy the Lion plush. So we'll add him in here and give him a double tap for good luck, and be on the lookout for these plush. All right, I was a little off. $5 for the plush, but still totally worth it. So $15 total. All right, and here you can see how this looks at nighttime. Look at that blue glow in the background. That's so awesome. And I literally will wait until nighttime to take this final picture before I do the listing, because it's just so advantageous to have this type of color pop, which you're not going to get in daytime hours. So I took the other pictures during daytime, and this will be the final picture, and this will help sell it. All right, well, this is a brand that I always tell people to look out for with shoes, and I do sell some shoes here and there, and these are Timberlands. So very popular, and I actually have this exact same pair. They hold up really well in the winter time. This particular model number here is, you can look right here, it's 2730R. So in pre-owned condition, size 13 could go for like 50, 55, 60 bucks. So I'm gonna pick these up. They're in decent shape. A little bit of scuffing on them, but people will still buy them like that, and I could buff it up a little bit. If these were brand new, they'd sell for double that. But I'll pick them up in pre-owned condition, and since the winter's coming on soon, these should sell hopefully pretty quickly. All right, so here's an item that just came off that truck right over there. So you can see here this rectangular metal item. Now, someone was just looking at it, but put it down. But I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna show you why. So if you look at the back here, it tells you, gives you a big clue on what it is. It's an aircraft radio. And you can see there, it was released in 1943. So this could definitely be listed as a World War II type item here. You could see here, there's really no way for me to test it right now and show that it works, but it doesn't matter because it will still sell for parts. For parts or repair, you know, people love to tinker with things like this. It's pretty cool. It has the high voltage sign on it right there. It has all the metal labels on it and stuff. It's really neat. This would sell for about anywhere between like $60 and $80. Some have sold in the $80 range with shipping. So I'm gonna pick this up because it's not gonna cost too much, being an untested item, and it looks pretty beat up. But people like that. They like that vintage look to it. Doesn't matter. It has a little paint loss and stuff. This is gonna be fun for a military collector. So we're gonna grab this item. So look out for pieces like this. It doesn't even matter if they work. That's the great thing about it. All right, so the total cost for both of these was $20. So not bad. I think I'll make a good flip on these. All right, now here's something that I found underneath here, which could have some interest because of the obvious double entendre here. This play by Neil Simon. I kind of picture someone hanging this up in a restaurant that's kind of a little edgy, like a barbecue place or something, frame it. It's sealed. Don't mind the discoloration on top. That just wipes off. There's lamination over it. So you can see here on the back, it's pretty old. I mean, I'd say this probably dates back to the 80s. So yeah, I'm gonna see how much this costs. Aziz, what's the price on this one?
That's cool.
Yeah.
Neil Simon's Come Blow Your
Horn.
I don't know, I'm gonna say $10 just for a wall hanger.
$10.
Yep, it's...
All right, so I did decide to pick this up for the $10. I ultimately determined it was worth it because it's sealed and it's not something that you are going to come across every day. This is something that was meant to be discarded after the play was over. This was something that would have been advertised in Syracuse, New York. Even though it doesn't say Syracuse on it, I'm in Syracuse right now, and you could see it says Civic Center, Carrier Theater. That's Syracuse, New York. So I could keyword that, if I want to. Also, I just can't get over the key phrase here, and I just know there's going to be some guy out there who wants this for laughs, either, like I said, in a restaurant or maybe like a man cave or something like that. Wall display, like the vendor said. I like the font on it. It's cool. I like how prominently it's displayed in the middle. It's on a diagonal. It doesn't have much by way of imagery, which was what was making me hesitate a little bit, but it does have the two play masks up top. So someone who likes theater might also like this. It says Playhouse on it, so that's cool as well. Has a little bit of a holiday aspect to it in a way that's pushing it a bit, but that's just because it has the December date on it. So it's kind of wintry because it has the blue and the white, and it's December. So, so that's also cool. I think I'm gonna list this for $50 and see what I could get out of it. Now, I might, not sell for that. Maybe I'll sell for 40 or something like that. But I don't think I'm too far off, just based on my experience with this type of stuff. I did see that the movie version of this title in poster form. Now, it's a different poster. I'll put an image of it on the screen, so it looks different. But it sold for $120 plus shipping. So that at least tells me there's some potential in the in the title. So overall, $10 for a nice sealed piece like this, I think it was worth it overall. So we'll see what happens with it. All right, well, here is an interesting item. I love oil cans, and this one is super cool because it has a wolf's head on it. It's called Wolf's Head. It's red, white, and blue, so it has those patriotic colors. And what you don't normally see, it's filled. So empty cans of this sell for up to $110. Now, the thing that has me a little bit hesitant on this is that on the back of it, it does have a scratch across the H. But I don't think in the long run that's a huge deal because, someone who wants to display this will just display the front of it. And frankly, the sold ones, they've had their fair share of dings and scratches and paint loss on it. So I think this is really cool. Plus, it will clean up nicely if you want to just, hit it with the magic eraser and just get some of this stuff off of it. Although, it's possible that a buyer might actually want to have some of the oil smears on it because it gives it that vintage look. So I may just leave it the way that it is. You can ship full containers of this. You just need to ship it properly. It has to ship ground. It can't ship air. And you've got to properly mark it as having hazardous materials inside of it. So the vendor wants $30 for it. And I'm not sure if there's any flexibility there. I'd probably be a little bit more comfortable at 25 with it, but we'll see. I might just do the 30 on it. I just got to be careful because something like this, you want to make sure it just does not leak. So that's another thing when shipping it. You have to properly seal it up, to make sure that it doesn't leak in transport. So you got to be real careful with this kind of stuff. Plus it's a bit heavy as well, being full. I mean, it's a full gallon. So, but you just don't come across full gallons of Wolf's Head. So I think I'm going to try to pick this up. Let's see. Will you do 25 on the Wolf's Head? All right, 25. All right, so look at what we have over here. We have a bunch of framed cinematic images, and they are pretty neat. They're in really vintage, sturdy frames. You could see they've been drilled through as well on the sides, which will help for hanging purposes. And there's a ton of them here. Now, I was thinking of buying all of them because I couldn't believe the price. $3 a piece, and they are custom framed, all the same. You could see here on the back it shows the name of the place that framed it. But I don't want all of these. Some of them don't have the higher level definition that I'd like to see, and some of them have a little bit of damage on it, like you could see there. But I did see a few here in these stacks that I want to get. So let's move this Gunsmoke one over. Got W.C. Fields here. It always reminds me of Winston Churchill. But Three Stooges stuff is very collectible. This little spot here will come off. And this is really neat. I could totally see this hanging up in someone's man cave. It's so cool. You know how they're pointing. It definitely could be a focal point. So I'm gonna get this one. And then let's move Shirley Temple over here. I'm gonna do a combo with the Judy Garland one from Dorothy, Wizard of Oz, with this one here, which is the main selling point piece. I've seen this one sell framed for 45 bucks. So to me, this is a no-brainer to pick up. It's a classic, iconic scene with the Tin Man, the lion, the scarecrow. Of course, you got Dorothy, pulling down on the bell to get the attention of the wizard. So this really cool. That's pretty neat. And the bell, of course, doesn't work. So there's the big handle. She's knocking on the door and everything. It's really cool. So I'm excited about these 3 pieces, and it's just gonna be $9 for them. So wow, look at that. So here's an interesting piece I wanted to show you. I do buy sports collectibles and sports memorabilia, but I'm really careful when it comes to signed stuff. Now, this is a cool vintage piece. It comes from 1998. It's this Coors Light stand-up cardboard display, and the vendor only wants $20 for it. The interesting thing here is there are 3 signatures from each of the players you see. So you've got Jim Kelly up there, you've got Jim McMahon here, and you have Ronnie Lott here. Now, a lot of times when someone goes and tries to get a signature from multiple people, it's spread out in time a bit. And these look like they were all signed right around the same time. I can't tell you same day or not, but it looks pretty similar in terms of the quality of the ink on all 3, which is a little suspicious. This looks pretty similar to Jim McMahon's signature. Jim Kelly's looks pretty signature, but the one that I think is the dead giveaway that this is not authentic is the Ronnie Lott one. Okay, I have not seen Ronnie Lott sign his name before literally as Ronnie. He normally spells it as Ron. Also, it's not very clear in the lettering when he does sign his name as Ron, so for him to literally write it out like that, like Ronnie, that just looks like BS to me. So I don't think that this is legit, and for that reason, I'm gonna pass it up. So, do yourself a favor when you're looking at signed pieces like this, definitely do a comparison to other known signatures that have been already established as legitimate and certified, and you can easily find those on your phone. When you're out, just do a search, a Google image search, and just type signature next to the person's name, and you can compare to lots of different exemplars. So for that reason, I'm passing up on this item. All right, well, we are here at the flea market again, and I've thrown a couple of shipping supply items into my box. But speaking of boxes, I came across this box right over here. And one of the things I wanted to point out, and I've mentioned this in other videos, is to look for things sometimes that are boring looking, because a lot of times people will pass them up depending on what it is. It could have value. So this is a great example of boring looking items that could have value. These are computer parts, and this is specifically a computer drive, a hard drive. And if you look here, you can see it says Quantum Maverick. So it's a Pro drive, and Quantum Maverick Pro drives could sell between $50 and $125. So what you want to do is you flip it over, and if you go to the UPC, you're going to see an MV number on the bottom. And you want to type that MV number into eBay. So the cheapest one of these available right now is $50. So I'm going to pick this up, and hopefully there'll be a buyer out there for it. And it's supposed to look like this on the other side, where you could see all the chips and everything. That's normal. All right, so we do have another one in here, and this one here is by iOmega. This is a zip drive, and you can see right there it says Zip 100. The Zip 100 drives, and you just look them up by the model number here. Again, same kind of thing. They sell for between around $50 and a little bit higher. Sometimes you get up to like $150 on them. Now you can see this drive comes already attached to the insert section here, where you would insert the disc. So that's cool. Nice added feature there. So we'll pick this one up as well. All right, so going back in again, and I just think we're gonna just buy the entire box because on the bottom here we have a Sony CD-ROM drive unit. You can see here it says it was used for a compact. Now this is from 1995. It's harder and harder to find old computer parts, and so I'm gonna pick this up. I did look up the model number. I can't find this specific model number. Sorry, that's mine. Sorry. Yeah, okay. I can't find the specific model number, but how to use the stun gun again. I haven't used that in a while. Hope you enjoyed it. I always have it handy. Quickest draw in the East Coast. But anyway, so that could be a good thing and a bad thing that I can't find the model number. It might be long tail. I'm just gonna need someone who's specifically looking for this, but I might as well just pick it up as, you know, as part of this lot in this box here. So, by the way, for CD-ROM drive units, the potential isn't quite as high as the other ones I showed, but you could get as high as $90 depending on what version you have. So we'll see what happens with this one. But then inside, there's just some other smaller components like, you know, different types of belts, and these items usually have some type of number on it that you could use to look it up. So let's see if these do. Yeah, like see, there's usually some stuff on here that you could type to try to do a little bit of research on it. So here's another one here. Let's just take a look here. See, this is exactly what I mean. I know about this because I have taken apart old computers before and just made a bunch of money selling the parts compared to selling the whole computer. So it's a fun thing to do, just disassembling it. Currently doing it right now with one, actually. So yeah, so that's just something you can do. See, you can see there, it says zip drive right there. So okay, we'll just grab this entire box. All right, so this is a box digging day, and so we are inside another box, and you can see here, we have another Quantum drive. Now, it's not the same series as the other one. It's not a Pro drive. You can see here on the bottom it says, let me get it better for you to see, 1080T. Now someone has this one for sale for $162 plus shipping. That is probably a pie in the sky price. There's a very specific model number on it, and I can't find the exact model number that has sold once you go out all the different letters and numbers. But the 1080AT series generally sells for between 50 and 60. So we will pick this one up as well, and hopefully we could do well with it. All right, so here's another box that I was going through, and I like to look through whenever I see these little piles of paper, because you never know what you're gonna find hidden inside. So I was digging, and it was funny because someone had asked me on my video, which was called How to Make a Fortune Selling Old Photos, because we were talking about group photos. Now, if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. But someone asked me if photos of like old class photos sell, and they definitely can. So look at this right here, and this has been protected well because it was in this lamination. Brewerton Elementary School, that's here in the Syracuse area, October 4th, 1954, and it even has the names of the people listed here, which is fantastic. So I'll just keep it in that, and it also has like an old like class list or something, so that's pretty cool. So we've got that one, and then you could see here there's another one. This is from 1952, so it really makes sense to sell this as a set. I like the look of the old teacher here, with those glasses. That really looks cool, and it's a pretty full class. So that's neat. So we're gonna get this one. There's no class list written on the back, but we've got 2 of them right there. That's a neat find. So yeah, so look, be on the lookout for old class photos. All right, so I'm still digging through this box because I saw another lamination, and look at this one. This is 1951. This one is absolutely incredible. This is my favorite one because look on the back. You have the words spelled out on the chalkboard. That is just so cool, and it's really been protected well. This is an amazing find. I think it's going to sell well. Nothing on the back, but this is absolutely fascinating. I might sell this one separately. I don't know. Maybe I'll lot it with the other ones. Let me know what you would do, but this is an incredible picture. I love it. All right, so I always look for blank media when it's sealed, and this is a nice pack right here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So as soon as I build up enough of them, I sell them off in a big lot. And then we've got another one right here as well. So this one looks like a 5-pack. So whoops. All right. Yeah, here we go. 5 of them. So just throw those in there, give it a double tap. All right, well, I'm always on the lookout for shipping supplies, as I mentioned earlier with the envelopes, and I count rubber bands as shipping supplies because I use them to roll up posters. Now you have to be careful not to over tighten the rubber band on the poster or you could damage the poster. So as long as you keep it, loose enough to not cause any damage, then I've never had a problem with it. But you do have to be careful. But yeah, some of these will be dried out because they're old, but some of these will be great. So we'll just toss them in the box and add them to Primetime Treasure headquarters. All right, so the grand total for everything, including all of the hard drives and computer parts, the 3 class photos here, 1, 2, and 3. All of the envelopes, the rubber bands, and the sealed media came to $25. I am thrilled with that. I should make that back just from selling one of these drives. Yes, I do have some emergency Mountain Dew here. You never know when you might need some. And yeah, so very cool. I'm very happy with this deal. I think that's the second $25 bulk deal at the flea market in a row, so it seems to be the magic number lately. But gosh, I'm so happy with this. Well, there she is. There's the star of the show. I think she suspects something's up. I think she suspects. Daisy, I got a friend for you. I got a friend for you to meet. She doesn't trust it. All right, here's Leroy, all set up for Daisy. Let's see what Daisy does. Daisy, whoa. Daisy, who's that? That's Leroy the lion. What do you make out of Leroy there? What do you think? You like him? Let's see if she's gonna be nice to him or mean to him. Oh, look. She's looking in the eyes. Oh, that's a power move, Daisy. You just knocked Leroy right over. You're showing him who's boss. Whoa. Oh, she's gonna try to break. Look at that. Oh, whoa, Daisy. Whoa, oh, Daisy, you are not messing around. Oh my goodness. You are showing Leroy who is boss. All right, Daisy, I'm gonna have to intervene here. I'm gonna have to save Leroy because I'm kind of worried about what you're gonna do to him if I don't come in here and rescue him. So we'll get him all cleaned up and everything, all spiffied up, and get him all ready to get listed. But thank you for your dutiful inspection as always. Appreciate it. So get out of here. Leroy's mine. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna take him. I'm gonna. What are you doing? What are you doing? Just wanted to go. All right, he's going. He's going. Bye bye, Daisy. Oh, there she is. The boss is back on top of her perch, fresh after declaring her victory over Leroy. So we can see those Shih Tzu eyes. She just got a haircut yesterday. So this is the best time to take a look at those big eyes right there. Look at that, that facial expression. She always makes me laugh. So Daisy is probably going to be up for an Academy Award after that performance. I don't know, maybe she'll be on Dancing with the Stars. That's probably more appropriate. Then maybe if she wins that, we could see about an Academy Award one day or something. I don't know. But Daisy, what do you think? Yeah? That was pretty funny. Maybe she's a little embarrassed. But anyway, I hope that everyone enjoyed the video. Lots of fun items. And I always like to know what your favorite one is that I found. So be sure to let me know that in a comment section. Daisy is very busy guarding the treasures right now. So if you want a little update on her plush toy situation down here, you can see what she's got going on. She is a Snoopy fan. So, all right, Daisy, time to say goodbye to everybody. Let's give them one last goodbye, and then we'll wrap it up, and we'll see everyone at the next one. Daisy, one more look. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. No more running from the bad guy. I'ma stare him in the eye like, what's up? I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. Yeah, I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.